All right, we are live here for our Facebook Live on Monday, the 16th of May. Trust everybody's enjoying the beautiful weather. So this is Sam with Affluence Real Estate Group. So today we're actually going to chat about a really cool subject, which I really like, and that we came up with the content for because it's really relevant today, is the top 5 myths of real estate kind of busted. So we're gonna take these myths, we're gonna talk about them. If anybody has questions, please type them in the chat. We'll make sure as well that, or if you can type them in a comment, you can reach out to me on Facebook or even on the socials. And also we'll make sure we have a calendar link as well. So myth number one, family and friend can sell my home. So really what's important about this myth is that that is not necessarily true. It depends on the market. So what we found was when we had a very, very heavy sellers market in February, January, February, March even, we found that people could hire a family friend or a family member and not interview other agents, and they can get the house sold. Generally, what they don't know though is that you could potentially leave some money on the table. And also as well, you have to think that if that relationship does not pan out, if something doesn't work out, there's a conversation that's not had because it's taken for granted because of the rapport that you have with that person personally, that could put your biggest asset in jeopardy. So something to think about there. We also remember too that most agents in a shifting market, meaning that if there's more sellers that are coming on the market, it's getting a little more challenging to sell the house. We're seeing more homes get canceled and then relist because they didn't get the offer they're looking for. The three P's, kind of the put on the market, put a sign up, and put on the MLS, it's just not enough. You need to know exactly what that agent's going to do outside of that to make sure that the house sells for more money and to get the best potential result for the seller. Okay. Number two, I'd like to have a market expert. Okay. So the truth about a local market expert is that they spend money on farming. And farming is actually a real estate term that's called for I'm spending money on flyers in the area to look like I'm a local expert there. Now, there are great agents in the area, and it's not against any particular agent or area. Usually, though, what the agent will do is they will focus on areas that have higher turnover, that are turning over, 6, 7% or whatever. And there's actually, I believe, a site, melissadata.com, talks about turnover, right? Areas, certain neighborhoods that are turning over quite a bit. So these agents will farm those areas and marketing wise, and they'll look and see like the market expert. What we can do though, if you to, or meet with you or discuss this in a seller presentation, is we can actually look at how many sales they have actually done. And generally you find, 2, maybe 3% of the market. So they're really not getting market share. So it's not really a local expert. Another thing with the local expert you have to remember is that the challenge there could be, let's say they have a listing in your area at 700,000. They have another one at 1 million, and they have one at 500,000. That agent may sway a little bit if they have a lot of resources in the same area. They may sway to, selling one property over the other, maybe subconsciously, versus someone who kind of thinks locally and yet markets globally. We also know that people are coming from other areas. They're coming from Toronto. They're coming from other markets. So that local, especially after 2020, we kind of feel that borders have expanded. So people are moving and working from other areas remotely, etc. So that statement doesn't really apply as much. And again, make sure you do interview, make sure you ask, and we have some great questions you can ask your agent if you are interviewing someone and selling your home. So definitely let me know and we can get that resource over to you as well. Okay. So that's another one. So another one is, I'd only like to deal with the agent who's selling my house. So that's the best way to do it. And that's actually a myth. And the reason is, it's not that your agent should be there answering the phone. He should be there helping you. What I mean by this is that it is good to have a team approach, even if it's not a team that you're seeing, if you're not seeing another agent. We have an administrator and operations help. So when you call me, I'll be able to actually answer the phone, answer your questions, discuss everything with you versus, having putting up the sign and then going to the staging appointment and doing all these things. It's important that I'm focused on helping negotiate, market, and do it at a high level. So then the other things, kind of the 80-20 rule, the things that are going to get, 20% of the revenue for you as a seller are being offloaded to someone who is qualified to help with that. So that's another thing that I say would be a big thing. Okay. So one is I can wait to put my house on the market. I don't have to, I'm not ready for listing it. I'm not ready for showing it. So why wait? Why is it? What's important about waiting? What's important about putting on the market now, or at least even hiring an agent or having them come in? One, it's important to see what kind of renovations we've done, how to maximize the value of the property. Two, if you do agree it's the right fit, if more sellers do hit on the market, 3 or 4 in the same street, come on the market. It's important that as a seller, you are prepared, you have interest in your property, and we've already started marketing it to the top 20% of agents that are on the board as well to get interest in your property and put you ahead of every other seller. And that's really what you are looking for. Okay. So let's see here. Real estate global. Yeah. So we talked about the local expert. I think that's quite important. And we talked about also leverage piece as well. So that's actually 4. So again, if you do have questions, another one actually we think about is, I'm going to look at an agent who's working kind of part-time in the field. That's related to number 1. Whether they're part-time or not, I mean, definitely full-time is extremely important. They want to be focused on helping you with your goals. They're not going to be able to do that if they're going to have other obligations to attend to. Okay. Mainly though, again, another thing I'd like to add as well is we are going to be doing a webinar. So if you're a landlord or you are selling investment property and you'd like to know what happens, what do you do? What's capital gains? What is a strategy? What's a strategy dealing with tenants? How does it all work? N12, N11, all that stuff, Landlord Tribunal Act. What happens? We have experts coming in on the 19th at 5 p.m. So our admin is going to put a link for the registration. Definitely make sure you sign up. It is a complimentary. It's definitely worth it. We're going to have these experts talking their expertise mostly about capital gains taxes, strategies for that as an investor or as a homeowner with an investment property. Or you're thinking about investing in real estate. And then the other one is if you're a landlord, you have tenants, you'd like to understand how to sell tenanted property and some things that you should know about. Okay. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. And thanks for joining us on the live today.